Men nowadays have become soft. They have become soft in a way where it's my background is I came from prison.
I had this little voice that if I don't listen to it, it's always bad. I turned around, went back and got it. And it was a cold, frosty night. There was frost on the ground and stuff. And I could see car lights. The line of cars had stopped and car lights were going up into
The tree.
And I'm like, so I whip it over and I could see there's a car overturned in a ditch full of water.
Oh,
The guy had broke his neck. And he said that if I had not pinned him down and held him down,
yeah,
that
he's severed. He's done.
And guess what? He works out with me today. When I turn on my speakers and I look, the neighbor across the street, she's waving and frantic. And I'm like, what's up? And I turn, she's, my house is on fire. I jumped up and I grabbed the hood and yanked it down, took another breath and stuck the rest of the hose up there and just it was out.
You got to stay ready because you might never know what's going to happen.
I was in Manhattan and watched a guy like this walk right past and step in front of a train and get run over.
It's ridiculous.
Got killed. Yeah, and I'm like, well, boom, gone.
I'm open the door. I'm going to scan fast because my spider senses, or for me just having a shady past, has to be aware of everything else. Because even when I put my back to the door so I can see, and my wife is like, why do you do that?
Your temper has nothing to do with the outcome of this situation. And that's the biggest thing. I was taught from a young age from my dad, situational awareness, figure out when trouble's going to happen and be gone.
Yeah, you got to be aware of that.
Yeah.
You got to know how to control that. And if you're not ready for that shit, stuff is just going to be overwhelming and run you over. And then you're through.
The contingency is I've got the sheetrock marked on my bedroom and my daughter's bedroom where I know where the studs are. If I have to go through the sheetrock, I can go through it.
How do you train for something you hope never happens?
You know, that's the biggest thing with Phoenix Fit. It's our fitness program. I'm teaching everything I've learned since I was 9 years old.
You got to have that goal set in mind. You got to have that direction. You got to be physically capable and mentally and emotionally capable. If you don't have that, you washed up.
You got to have the diesel. This is the experience of being on point and dealing with it and knowing how important it is to be ready. And then the next part of it, which really grew, is when I had children. It's that person to be in front of when the shit goes down.
You still have to stay ready as a person, as a man, to protect your family, because that's the most important thing.
The biggest thing that we start off when we do for Daddy Fight Club is instilling the situational awareness module. That's the first module. That's the most important. And that's what kept me out of that situation. And I walked back around and a couple of guys said, God, I wish you'd have beat him up. I was like, but look, I'm going to wake up tomorrow. I'm going to wake up tomorrow in my bed. I don't have to worry about an attorney. I don't know. And look,
you don't have charges.
And I got 150 people that just saw that I'm a nice guy and I can control myself.
Bigger picture.
I've been doing it since I was 9.
The part that you know how to fight makes you not a fighter, because you're supposed to be able to be the bigger man in a situation because you have all the skill sets, right?
It was from the fire. I rebuilt myself. Okay?
Phoenix.
I put a quote up yesterday. It says, I'm built for the climb. I'm going to give him credit anyway. It was, don't listen to yourself, coach yourself. So when you're sitting here saying, oh man, this is hard. No, you don't say that to yourself. You say, I got it. But it's such a game changer when you're sitting there and you're like, oh, this hurts. No, I got it.
One of these trainings might save your life.
So
your family's life. And we'll end it right there because you got to stay ready. You got one life.
One of my best friends, he was going through a terrible divorce. And we had so much fun on those mats over there, just laughing and rolling. And he's, you saved my life, dude. You saved my life. He said, you don't understand it. You are the table. The biggest thing is Daddy Fight Club, teaching your family how to recognize these things. Hopefully we never have to use it, but then having a go-to plan that you can. Stay ready.